Students, get ready for a chemistry class. Break time over. Shall we start the class? Okay. Today I am going to deal with the same chapter, surface chemistry. So in surface chemistry, the subtopic I am going to take today, we are going to discuss about emulsion. Discuss about emulsion. Okay. First of all, what is emulsion? Don't think that this is a new word arises. What is emulsion? Okay, it is already known word emulsion. So in previous chapters we discussed about colloidal solution. Okay, what is colloidal solution? We know colloidal solution is nothing but it is not in a true solid form. It is not in a true liquid form. In between the solid and the liquid, there exists one medium. That solution only called a colloidal solution. Okay. So in the same manner, emulsion, it is also a colloidal solution. It is also a colloidal solution. Okay. So where here we will take considering only the liquid medium. Okay. So the dispersion of one liquid, that is the dispersion of one liquid into other. Okay, other liquid. So if you take that whenever if you are mixing, dispersion means mixing. Okay. Dispersion of one liquid into another liquid. So while you are dispersing, we have to get the immiscible liquid. Immiscible liquid. Okay, what is immiscible liquid? We cannot differentiate the two liquid where it is. Suppose if you are taking one. Okay, so it is mixing properly. So it is not it is not differentiating the two liquids by seeing through your naked eye method. Immiscible. Okay, so it is the dispersion of one liquid into other liquid. So whether you are getting what immiscible liquid. Okay, so next. If you are taking, this is called emulsion. So emulsion is what? It is a type of colloidal solution where you will get the emulsion by taking the dispersion of one liquid into other liquid. Okay, so this is called emulsion. Okay, so here when you are dispersing, so the process of, okay, if you are taking that, the process of preparation of emulsion. The process of preparation of emulsion. Okay, if you take the process of preparation of emulsion by the dispersal of, okay, by the dispersal means distributing. Okay, by the dispersal of one liquid into other liquid. One liquid into other liquid. Okay, this process is called, the name of the process is called emulsification. Process is called emulsification. Okay, so what is called emulsification? It is a process of preparation of an emulsion by the dispersion of one liquid into other liquid. So we are going to prepare emulsion. How can you prepare emulsion? By the dispersal, by distributing one liquid into other liquid. So the process of preparation of emulsion, this is called emulsification. Okay. So the process of preparation of emulsion, the process is called emulsification. Okay. Next, we'll go with the types of emulsion. Okay, types of emulsion. So where we know that there are two types of emulsion. That is, if you go with types of emulsion. Okay. So if you go with the types of emulsion, there is two types of emulsion. One is oil in water. That is oil with the water type. Okay, one is oil in water. And second one is water in oil. Okay, this is a second type. So how many types? There are two types. One is oil in water. Second type is water in oil. Okay. So what is this actually? What is oil in water? What can I understand from this? The word oil in water. So already we discussed about the dispersed phase. Dispersed phase. Okay. And what is called dispersed phase? We know that in a colloidal solution, substance in lesser amount. Substance in lesser amount. This is called a dispersed phase. The substance in lesser amount. This is called a dispersed phase. Okay. And if you take dispersion medium, what is dispersion medium? The substance present in larger amount. Substance in larger amount. Substance in larger amount. Okay. So if you take this in consideration, we can explain what is this. Okay. So what is dispersed phase? In a whatever may be the colloidal solution, substance present in lesser amount. Okay, this lesser amount we have to take it as the lesser amount we have to take it as a dispersed phase. Larger amount we have to take it as a dispersion medium. Okay. If you take oil in water, okay, the oil, it is considered as a dispersed phase. Oil is considered as a dispersed phase. The lesser amount will be present. Whereas dispersion medium, the larger amount will be your water. So this is the difference. Whenever if you are writing oil with water, the first you have to take dispersed phase. And second one, we have to take it as a dispersion medium. Okay. So here, this dispersed phase is oil and the dispersion medium is water. So it is a type of oil in water. Okay. So it is a example for oil in water. You may take example milk. Okay, where oil in smaller quantity and water is present in larger quantities. Okay. Next, if you go with the second type, water in oil. if you take a water in oil, we know that here the dispersed phase is water. Dispersed phase is water, whereas dispersion medium is oil. Okay, so where water in smaller amount, whereas oil in larger amount, that is the second type, water in oil. So how many types of emulsion means? There are two types of emulsion. First one, oil with water. Second one, water with oil. So here the example, we will take butter and cream. These are the two examples for a water with oil type example. Okay, so this is a types of emulsion. Next, so just I already told you about how to prepare an emulsion. How can you prepare an emulsion? By dispersion of one liquid into another liquid. Okay, so how can you mix the two liquids? How can you mix the two liquids? Okay, the two liquids can be mixed. That is, the two liquids mixed by using of a colloidal mill. So you know already what is colloidal mill. So the colloidal mill consisting of two steel plates rotating in opposite direction. Suppose if you just allow the substance, the whatever may be the larger substance, those larger substance can be split up into smaller one. By using of this, we can prepare a colloidal solution. Likewise, here also, if you take a colloidal mill, the colloidal mill is water rotating in a opposite direction. So this colloidal mill is used as to mix the two liquids properly. Okay, this colloidal mill, it is acting as a homogeneizer. That is, the colloidal mill acting as a geneizer to mix a two liquid. If you want to mix the two liquid, we should use a colloidal mill. So the colloidal mill can be act as a homogenizer. Okay. And next, while you are mixing this two liquid, if you take like other colloidal solution, so because emulsion is a colloidal solution, so other colloidal solution, comparing that, emulsion also unstable, because you are mixing the two liquid. We cannot expect that the two liquid can be in the same format as it is as the time proceeds. Okay, so this emulsion, you take that emulsion is unstable. It is not present as it is over a long time. Okay, it is unstable. So in order to make it as stable, okay, unstable, and this must be stabilized. So you have to stabilize. But how can you stabilize this emulsion? Okay, so emulsion can be stabilized by using emulsifying agents. Okay, by using emulsifying agent. Emulsifying agent. This emulsifying agent, or we can call it as emulsifier. Emulsifiers. Okay. So this emulsifying agent act as a third component. Okay. So it will be acting as a third component. So this emulsifying agent acting as a water, it is a third component, because already we know that colloidal system means we should take a two component. So two liquid we are taken, In addition to that, we have to mix a third component to get the stability of the colloidal solution. So like other colloidal system, emulsion also unstable, and this can be stabilized by using water. The third component, by adding third component, emulsifying agent or the emulsifiers. Okay, and now what are all the emulsifiers we can use? So what are all the emulsifiers available? Okay, and how can you use? So what are all the emulsifying agents we can use? Okay. So first one, you take all lyophilic colloids. Okay, first one, you take all lyophilic colloids. Okay. So what is lyophilic? We know that lyophilic means we know attraction. Okay. So in between the dispersed phase and the dispersion medium. Okay, in between the dispersed phase and dispersion medium, there is a greater affinity between these two. Greater affinity. So there is the attraction is more. Okay. So if you have the attraction between the dispersed phase and dispersion medium is more, means we will take this is a lyophilic colloid. Philic means attraction. Okay. So all lyophilic colloids can be act as a best emulsifying agent. So example for this, we will take the example glue gelatin. Glue and gelatin. We know that glue and gelatins are the proteins. These are the proteins obtained. Okay, these are the proteins obtained by boiling skins of animals. Skins of animals. This is one variety of proteins. You understand? These are proteins. Okay. So lyophilic colloids. What is lyophilic colloid? An example for lyophilic colloid is glue and gelatin. So this is nothing but proteins. So this can be obtained by boiling the skins of animals, especially cows. Okay. Especially we'll take a cow. Okay. Next, the second one, long chain compounds. Long chain compounds with polar groups. Like polar groups, you have to take like soaps and sulfonic acid. Soaps and sulfonic acids. Okay, long chain compound with polar groups. The example, soaps and sulfonic acids. And third one, if you take insoluble powders. Okay, insoluble powders. Like insoluble powders, we have to take clay. You can take, okay, one example, and lamp black also. Okay, we know that clay is a mineral. Okay, and it is obtained from the aluminium. And lamp black, it is nothing but it is types of carbon black. This types of carbon black. Okay, if you take that, it is a type of a carbon black. Is actually is a type of a carbon block. Okay. So lamp black, it is nothing but it is a type of a carbon blocker, and that should be obtained from soot, okay, soot of burning fats or burning of oils. Okay, so just I gave 3 emulsifying agents. Okay, one is if you take that theophylline colloids, and second one is long chain compounds. Third one is insoluble powders. Insoluble powders, example, clay and lamp black. Okay, so lamp black is nothing but it is a type of a carbon obtained from a soot of burning fats and oils. Okay, so this is a example for a emulsifying agent. Okay, and next, so far we discussed only what is emulsion, what is a type of emulsion, and how can you stabilize the emulsion. So how can you stabilize the emulsion? By using a emulsifying agent. So last we discussed about what are the emulsifying agent possible, and next we are going to discuss about the identification of types of emulsion, because we know that there are 2 types of emulsion. Okay, so now I am going to identify the types of emulsion. The types of emulsion. Okay, how can you identify the types of emulsion? Okay, so some tests we can use, okay, to identify the types of emulsion. So first one we will take dye test. We know that dye means what? It is a coloring substance. Okay, dye test. We will take small amount of dye soluble in oil. So we will take small amount of dye soluble in oil. So it is understood that dye should be soluble in oil. Okay, is added to the emulsion. Added to emulsion. Okay, so you will consider a small amount of dye. That dye should be soluble in oil. Okay, and that particular dye you are going to add it to emulsion. So emulsion, how many types? Only 2 types. One is oil with water, and second one is water with the oil. Okay. Now this emulsion is shaken well. So while we are mixing the oil soluble dye with the emulsion, okay, and this mixture should be shaken well. Okay, and next, so from that, what you are going to infer? So there are 2 types of emulsion. Okay, and from that, one type, that is aqueous emulsion. So if you take that aqueous emulsion will not take the color. Will not take the color. Whereas oil emulsion, that is oily emulsion will take the color of a dye. Okay. So we know that what is the dye you have chosen? The chosen dye is oil soluble dye. Okay, oil soluble dye. Okay, and that oil soluble dye, just we are going to add it to the aqueous. We are going to add it to the emulsion. Okay, so in the two types of emulsion, the aqueous emulsion will not take the color, will not take the color of a dye, whereas oil emulsion will take the color of the dye. From that, we can identify what type of a emulsion is present, whether it is oil with water or water with the oil. Okay, and next, the second test you are going to take. The second test is a viscosity test. Viscosity test. And this is a viscosity test we can done only by the experiments. Okay. So the viscosity of the emulsion can be determined only by the experiments. So by using of experiments, we can say the oil emulsions will have, that is, the oily emulsion will have higher viscosity. Oily emulsion will have what? Higher viscosity compared with the water, that is aqueous emulsion. Compared with the aqueous emulsion. Okay, so if you take that, the viscosity test, so the viscosity of the emulsion can be identified only by using of a experiment. So from the experiment, we can see that the oily emulsion will have higher viscosity compared with the aqueous emulsion. Okay, so this is a second test. And if you go with the third test, the third is conductivity test. We know that what is the meaning of conductivity? So this is moving. Okay, so related with the moving. So if you take that conductivity test, the conductivity of the aqueous solutions. So the conductivity of a aqueous emulsion, it is more compared with the oily emulsion. Oily emulsion. So if you take conductivity, the aqueous emulsion will be moving on very freely compared with the oily emulsion. So the conductivity of the aqueous emulsion is more compared with the oily emulsion. This is the third test about the conductivity test. And fourth one, we will take spreading test. Fourth one is a spreading test. Okay, so which emulsion will be spread very fast? So if I am taking oily emulsion, okay, so oily emulsion, if I took oil emulsion, okay, readily spread, that is the oily emulsion spread readily, so it is very fast, okay, spread readily. Then aqueous solution. Okay. So, but we have to identify which surface. So, whenever oily emulsion spread readily, then aqueous solution, when it is spread on, okay, when spread on oily surface. Spread on oily surface. So, we are taking only oil emulsion. That oily emulsion, I am going to say that it is spread readily, then aqueous solution. Yes, but where is the surface? The surface we are going to provide only the oily surface. So, if you are providing the oily surface, the oily emulsion will be spread very readily than aqueous emulsion. So, this was the four tests. By using of this test, we can identify whether the given emulsion is oil with water or water with the oil. Okay, how many tests? There are four tests. And first one, we are taking dye test. Second one, viscosity test. And third one, conductivity test. And fourth one, spreading test. This they may ask as a one-word question, two-mark question, or as well as what it comes under the types of five-mark question also. Okay. This is the test to identify what is the nature of a emulsion. Okay. And next we are going to see one more concept. That is, we know that what is emulsion. Okay, so what does emulsion means? The dispersion of a one liquid into another liquid. Okay, and the process of formation of a emulsion only we are given the name as emulsification. Okay, emulsification. Now I am going to give what is called a de-emulsification. De-emulsification. Students, it should be differentiate what is emulsification, what is emulsifier, emulsificating agent, what is de-emulsification. Okay, because the emulsifying agent or emulsifier is a reagent we are going to add into the emulsion in order to make the emulsion as stable. Okay, emulsification is nothing but it is a process of a mixing of one liquid with another liquid. It is nothing but shortly, it is a preparation of a emulsion. What is called emulsification? It is a preparation of a emulsion. But now I am going to take what is de-emulsification. So from the word itself, we can get a very clear de-emulsification is nothing but just we are removing the emulsion. Okay, how will you get an emulsion? By mixing of one liquid with another liquid. Just we are getting emulsion. What is called de-emulsification? Emulsion can be separated into two layers. Okay, that is the emulsion. Okay, how can you get that emulsion? By mixing one liquid with another liquid. While you are mixing, the two liquid can be mixed properly. We are not identifying where that first liquid and the second liquid because it is always water mixing. Okay, so mix it properly. So for that purpose only we have used colloidal mill and all. So that emulsion, okay, just the two liquid can be mixed. Those emulsion can be separated. So now the mixed two liquid I am going to separate. So can be separated. Can be separated into two separate layers. Two separate layers. This process only called de-emulsification because emulsification is a process of formation of an emulsion. De-emulsification means the emulsion can be separated into two separate layers. So whatever may be the liquid you have mixed, the two liquid can be separated. So the two liquids cannot be separated as it is. Okay, so we have to use some reagents, some technique we have to use to separate the two layers. Okay, so what are the steps we can use? Okay, now I am going to give the various emulsifying techniques. Emulsifying technique. Okay, I am going to give the various emulsifying techniques. Okay, so now if you take that here, so what are all the techniques we can use? Okay, so the first one, just we are taking two liquid mix. The two liquid I am going to separate. How can I separate? So the first method, distilling one component, because we are taking two liquids. Okay, among the two liquid we can distill one component. So distilling one components. Okay, so you are taking two liquids. So from the two liquid, we have to distill any one of the liquid. Any one of the liquid. By using of this, okay, we can get a emulsifying technique. Okay, so first one, distilling one component. Second one, adding electrolytes. Adding electrolytes to discharge the charge, to destroy the charge. We know that emulsion is nothing but it is a colloidal solution. The colloidal solution should have a charge. Previous chapter we have discussed. So the colloidal solutions should have what? Charges, positive charge colloidal, negative charge colloidal and all. Okay, and by using of electrolytes, if you use that particular electrolyte, so it will destroy the charge. Okay, by using of that method, we can what? We can do the emulsification. Okay, so first by distilling one component, and second one by adding electrolyte. We know that electrolyte is nothing but a salt. So this is also containing positive and negative. So if you are adding those electrolyte into that emulsion, okay, and that positive and negative charges can be neutralized, and from that we will get water. The emulsification. So again, the separation of two liquids can be possible. So second one by adding electrolytes. Okay, and third one, destroying the emulsifiers. Destroying the emulsifiers. Emulsifiers. Okay. So destroying the emulsifiers means just we know that for what purpose we are using. We are using the emulsifier. So emulsifier is a substance. For what purpose we have used? So in order to mix the two liquids, and by mixing the two liquids, we are getting emulsion. Those emulsion is unstable. To make that unstable emulsion, to make a stability, to acquire a stability of our emulsion, what we have used, one reagent, emulsifiers. So now emulsifier is acting as a third component and gives a stability to the emulsion. Okay, now we have to destroy the emulsifiers. So while we are destroying the emulsifiers only, we can separate the two layers. We can separate the two liquids. So by destroying the emulsifiers, but that emulsifier destroying, it is not possible, should be taken as it is. So the destroying the emulsifier by using only chemical methods. Using only chemical methods. So if you use the chemical methods only, so we can destroy the emulsifiers. Okay. And fourth one, using solvent extraction. Using solvent extraction. So by using a solvent extraction, you know that it is extraction is a word whether I am going to separate any one of the component. Just I am using a solvent. So when I use a solvent, automatically the one component will be extracted from the other component. So using solvent extraction to remove one component. One component. So don't confuse what is component and that. So the component is nothing but in generally we are talking about one liquid, another liquid. So one emulsion is made up of two liquids. So one liquid only we are taking as one component, another liquid taking as a second component like that. So they are giving a word component. Okay. So using solvent, we can separate one component with the another component. We can separate one liquid with the other liquid. So this is the fourth method. Okay. And fifth one, by freezing one component. So if you are taking by freezing one of the components. One of the components. So freezing, you know that it is a physical method by cooling a substance, by cooling emulsion. Okay, when we cool that, any one of the component will be freezed readily. So if you are applying a freezing process, we can separate one component from the other component. So this is a method of separating the two layers. Okay, and sixth one, applying centrifugal force. Centrifugal force. We know that centrifugal force is nothing but it is a force that is operating away from the centers. Away from the center. Centrifugal is moving towards the center. So here, moving away from the center. It means that the emulsion is not existing as it is. It is understood whenever if you apply the centrifugal force, automatically the two liquids can be separated. Whenever the two liquids if you are separating the two liquids, it means that the emulsion is unstable. Emulsion is what? Unstable. Okay. So by using of this centrifugal force, we can separate one liquid from the other liquid. Okay, this is the sixth method. And seventh method, by using dehydrating agents. If you are adding dehydrating agents, we know that what is dehydrating agent? The reagent, if you are using. Okay, so for example, we are using concentrated sulfuric acid and all, best dehydrating reagent. Okay, so dehydrating reagent means it is a reagent that is used to remove a water molecule. So dehydrating agent. So removal of a water. So it is a removal of water. Removal of water. So automatically your emulsion, there is two types of emulsion. One is oil with water, another one is water with oil. So if you use any one of the dehydrating agent, so that dehydrating agent, it is used to remove only water. By using of this, we can separate one liquid from the other liquid. Okay, and next method we can take by passing ultrasonic waves. So those passing ultrasonic waves also, we can separate the two layers, and by heating at a high pressure. So heating at a high pressure. Heating at a high pressure. Okay. Now if you have taken that emulsion, if you are going on heating, okay, and we are providing a higher pressure, then we can separate the two layers. So this is all the condition. Okay, how can you separate the two layers? Okay, this is all the condition. Just separating the two layers. Okay, and this is the first one as distilling one component. Any one of the component we can distill. Distillation process, we know that it is a heating process. Okay. And second one is adding electrolytes. So whenever if you are using that electrolyte, it will destroy the charge. Okay. So the electrolyte is containing a charge. Okay. That charge that will destroy the charge of the emulsion particle. Okay. And third one, destroying the emulsifiers. This emulsifiers is acting as a third component. The purpose of using emulsifier is in order to make the stability of those emulsions. Okay, so automatically emulsion is unstable. So in order to make a stability, just we are using the emulsifiers. Okay, and fourth one, using solvent extraction. If you are using a solvent, okay, by using a solvent extraction, we can remove one component. And fifth method, by freezing one of the components. This is a physical method. And sixth one, by applying a centrifugal force. Okay, it is a force that is operating away from the center. Okay, so whenever if you are applying this force, automatically The two liquids will not be water, will not be mixing with each other. So that is going to be separated from one liquid to the other liquid. The two separate layers we are going to get by using of this centrifugal force. And seventh one, by adding dehydrating agent. Okay, so we are adding the dehydrating agent, so we can remove one component. And next, by passing ultrasonic waves also, we can separate the two layers. When we take an emulsion, heating at a high pressure also, we can separate the two layers. So, by using of this method, we can do the de-emulsification process. What is the method? De-emulsification process. Okay. Next, we are going to give again. Okay. So far we discussed about emulsion, de-emulsification and all. Now I am going to give one more concept: inversion of phase. Inversion of phase. It is nothing but the conversion of a oil with water emulsion. It is converted into water with oil. We know that oil with water means the oil is acting as a dispersed phase and water is acting as a dispersion medium. Okay, but it is converted into water with oil. So here the water is acting as a dispersed phase and oil is acting as a dispersion medium. Okay, so the conversion of oil with water type into water with oil type, this is only named as a inversion of a phase. Inversion means it is a conversion of one type of emulsion into another type of emulsion. Okay, so for example, if I take oil with water emulsion. Okay, so if I am taking oil with the water emulsion, whatever may be the time, we should add emulsifying agents. Okay, so this oil with water type emulsion should be stabilized by adding emulsifying agent potassium soap. Potassium soap. This potassium soap acts as a emulsifying agent. This is acting as a water emulsifying agent. Emulsifying agent. Okay. So I am taking oil with water emulsion. Then potassium soap. Okay, acting as a emulsifying agents. Okay. So now I am going to convert this into water with oil, that is oil with water emulsion. I am going to convert water into oil type emulsion by adding a salt, by adding calcium chloride, or I can add aluminium chloride. Okay, so what is called the inversion of phase? There is a conversion of a oil with water emulsion into water with oil emulsion. This is called the inversion of a phase. For that, I am adding calcium chloride or aluminium chloride as a emulsifying agent. Okay. Now, today we discussed type of what is emulsion. Okay, from the first, what is emulsion? We know that emulsion is a colloidal solution. Okay, emulsion is a colloidal solution. So it is, what is emulsion? Dispersion of one liquid into another liquid, and the process of preparation of an emulsion, that is only emulsification. And discuss types of emulsion, two types: oil with water, water with oil. Okay, and the two liquids mixed by using of a colloidal mill, and emulsion is unstable. To stabilize that, we are adding emulsifying agent. So what are the emulsifying agent used? Just I have rotated, liofilling, long chain compound, insoluble powders, and we have discussed about how to identify the types of emulsion by using of various tests, dye test, viscosity, conductivity test, and spreading test. And finally, we discuss about the emulsification and what are the methods, what are the techniques we have used to separate the two layers. And finally, we have discussed about inversion of a phase, okay? So from that, we are getting an idea about what is called emulsion, what are the types of emulsion, and what is called de-emulsification, what is the technique we can use for the de-emulsification, and what is called the inversion of a phase, okay? So from that, we will get 1 word, 2 mark, and then 5 mark, okay? Sometimes they may ask what is de-emulsification, what is emulsifying agent, and what are the types of emulsion, okay? For what purpose we are using emulsifying agent? In order to get a stability to the emulsion. So likewise, the questions we can get. And now, students, if you have any doubt, you can ask. Can you hear? Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you hear me? Say yes or no first.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So have you understood what is emulsion and all? What is emulsion?
Dispersion of one liquid into other liquid.
Very good. Okay. It is a type of colloidal.
Colloidal solution.
Good, good. Any doubt in that area?
No doubt, ma'am.
No doubt. Have you taken notes?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. If you have any doubt, just you have to ask. Okay. No doubt. No doubt.
No doubt, ma'am.
What are the two types of emulsion?
Oil in water and water in oil.
Okay. So what is emulsifier or emulsifying
Oil.
agent? Can you say the answer for that? What is emulsifier or emulsifying agent? What purpose we are adding this?
Type of reagent
To make
make
emulsion
the
stable.
Make a
Emulsions stable.
okay, very good, very good. Okay.